lights are out and you stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just remember. Just remember. Just remember. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just remember. Just remember. Just remember. Just remember.
Welcome to beautiful Long Pond, Pennsylvania, the Pocono Mountains of PA, Amish country, if you will, for round number 20 of the Moonshiners Racing Cup Series. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tony Trapasso, Matt Medler up in the booth with you for this one, and pretty decent sized turnout for round 20 here, as I'm counting 30 haulers in the infield. Good sized field, good group of drivers here tonight, and times in practice are already flirting, going sub 53 seconds around this joint. That is flying. Taking a quick look at the weather, it's a little more tricky than it was on Sunday. Stiff breeze, holding steady right around 12 degrees. It's been gusting up to 15, or miles an hour, I mean. 85 degree ambient air temperature, partly cloudy skies, 51% water grain in the air, 110 degree track temperature. Good freaking grief. Can we get a reprieve here in the Northeast? It is muggy, hazy, hot, and humid.
You know, you mentioned, can we get some reprieve in the Northeast? These drivers are begging for grip down there on the racetrack, Tony. We've been here a couple days this week, and this is by far the most southern-like atmosphere we've felt here in Long Pond, Pennsylvania. These drivers may just have their hands full. And, on top of that, they call it tricky for a reason.
They absolutely do. As three historic tracks each donated a corner to this facility to get the layout the way that they wanted it to. And Matt, I'll tell you right now, this is definitely one of the most intricate tracks on the tour.
It is one of the most intricate tracks. At times it feels like a road course. At times it feels like Indy. And other times it feels like you're spooling up an F-14 Tomcat getting ready to take off when you're barreling down that front stretch.
Oh, it absolutely does. I mean, you've got top speeds like you're going to see at Daytona and Talladega just before the braking zone going into one. You've got the high-speed corners like you get at Indy or a place like the Milwaukee Mile. You got to carry a lot of speed through both those corners. And then you also have to worry about downshifting because with 5 speeds in these cars, you can use all the gearing you can throw at it here.
Yeah, you certainly can, and you definitely want to do that. After barreling down that front stretch, as you mentioned, Tony, at almost 200 miles an hour, hard on the binders, as you like to say. These drivers are definitely going to be coming down into fourth gear there. If you decide to keep it in fifth, you just lose so much off the corner. Remember, these cars don't have the most horsepower in the world, so gearing very important.
They are running the low downforce, high horsepower package here tonight. And looks like Steve Gibson Jr. going to be the first one to roll it off pit road. I see Randy Mullins underway as well. Ed Boyles Jr. also out on track. Paul Whitley. There is Paul. So the Ram cars being well represented here tonight, as both Randy, Darren, and Paul in their rides, respectively. Nick King out of Scottsburg, Indiana.
This kind of feels like a Nick King style racetrack, if you ask me. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, it absolutely does. And yet another Kevin Harvick scheme is, wow, Paul Whitley's on one.
Yeah, he is, Tony. Oh my goodness. He is on a missile right now.
He's going to be one of the first ones to actually lay a time here in qualifying in that Ford. One of only 3 Fords in the field tonight. The other one being Nick King, and then you have Tim Wortman Jr., who's also out on track. There is Wortman.
I'm seeing Schmeets here, a hauler here for him. But to see if he actually hits the racetrack tonight. But he's been one of the faster Fords, even though they're the far few and in between camp for sure.
You are not incorrect. Oh, there he is. Yep. He just started rolling. So 4 Fords. And there it is, right at the top of the screen already. Steve Gibson Jr., Randy Mullins, Paul Whitley, Ed Boyles Jr. There's your first 4 times to get posted. Chris Davis just put up a lap. And immediately to the top of the pile for Davis.
Yeah, a 54.10, Tony, is a screamer, especially on cold tires. I'm looking for Chris Davis to definitely bust into the 53-second bracket here. Gibson and Mullins probably should too.
Well, here's the thing: is Davis has been quick all season.
Right.
He just hasn't been able to put together a race finish yet. Justin Belmonte also out on track as he goes quick time now by 1/10,000th of a second.
Oh, that's
yikes.
That's like, how do you even measure that, Tony?
You don't. Kyle Holden, the Chicago native, goes 4th quick in one of the other Toyotas here tonight. Hunter Carmichael here. New look for Carmichael this week.
Yeah, Carmichael's rocking some new vinyl on that race car. Digging it, though.
He absolutely is. Take a look at Warren Young. He went purple in the first sector. Let's see what lap 2 is going to give to Young. 2nd quick. Still not a bad lap.
No, not a bad lap at all. I thought he was going to pick up a little bit more. You know, if you look at iRacing live timing, you know, from SDK, what they give us by default, you know, at quick glance, you have Young, Davis, and Wortman. Or I'm sorry, now let's change. Young and Davis both tied at a 54.10. You have to go into that thousandths bracket, as you mentioned. Tony, there's our 53-second lap times coming in right now. Kyle Holden at a 53.73. Oh, my goodness.
Absolutely. But how about Paul Gallimore going third quick so far? Hunter Carmichael
didn't
getting ready
see
to
that one
cross.
coming.
I didn't see it either. As Hunter Carmichael getting ready to cross now, as we go back, there is Carmichael. New look for him tonight as Carmichael going to go 7th quick so far.
This is a very tight field so far, Tony, as far as time goes.
Absolutely. Barry Sanders. New look for him tonight in the orange Cougar bait whip.
Oh, we had some fun with that paint scheme last week, didn't we?
Yeah, and Barry hated both of us every second of the way. Daryl Klotz in the 99. Sharp-looking whip there. That matte black with the yellow really sets that car off.
It really does. Yeah, all the bad boys showing some new skin here tonight. I'm digging it.
Mm-hmm. Sanders coming through the tunnel turn right now. This is going to be a solid run for the 88. And I swear to God, the next person that calls me during a broadcast is getting punched in the mouth.
That's right. Tony does not believe in the do not disturb button.
I kind of can't because I always forget to turn my phone back on.
I've been there too, Tony.
And
Barry
Daryl
Sanders-
Klotz just negated both of his laps.
Oh, now that's tough because now he's going to be starting deep in the pines through this field. Looking at the qualifying times, Tony, this is a fast field. I mean, these guys clearly all put in, you know, some practice this week. The Toyotas, the Fords, the Chevys, everyone up here inside the top 7, top 10. I mean, they're literally stacked on top of each other. It's going to be a tough drive for him, for Klotz coming through the field.
It absolutely is. We're watching Ryan Huff, who went 15th quick on his first lap. See if he can improve any here. Still waiting on Derek Jacobs, Nick Atwood, Matt Mackin, and John Binder to post times here.
The long run boys there, that 33, John Binder.
Absolutely.
He loves coming through the field. David Balisari in the field tonight as well in the 45.
Yep, currently sitting 24th quick. Just put a safety lap in on lap 2. As we're watching a Huff right now on his final lap.
Yeah, Huff was pretty good there in practice. I'm pretty sure he's not happy with that first lap being 15th. I mean, I'm looking for Huff to pick it up here just a little bit because he was on the money in my opinion out there in practice.
10th quick. There's Daryl Klotz trying to just get some more practice laps in here.
Hey, Tony, we say it all the time. Practice makes perfect, or as close to perfect as you can get.
Well, as long as it's quality practice.
This is true. If you're out there running this place like it's Martinsville, well, you might be in trouble.
Perfect practice prevents piss poor performance.
Couldn't have said that better myself.
That's what my rugby coach used to tell us anyways.
Take a look. I mean, I know we talked about the weather already, Tony, but this is by far as humid and as hot as it's been since we've been up here in the Pocono Hills and the Pocono Mountains. It is a humid, pretty warm day for up here in the Northeast, especially at this elevation.
Yeah, I mean you're absolutely right. I mean the barometric pressure is relatively low, but the fact is we are quite a bit above sea level here. As a matter of fact, some of the most beautiful ski resorts in the Northeast are right here in the Pocono Mountains.
Yeah, Long Pond, Pennsylvania. If you never adventured, to Watkins Glen, Pocono falls right into that same region or similar region. You can't beat it. Take the family out, go RVing, or better yet, do some infield camping. Make a weekend out of it. Trust me, you'll be glad you did.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you are going to come to the Pocono race next year, make a week out of it, and camp. Let your family explore the area. A lot of historic sites, for the kids. A lot of activities. You can visit Hershey Park, and you can take the missus shopping at some of the Amish stores, and of course the great Amish restaurants here.
Oh my goodness, yeah. You've never had a steak until you had one from an Amish restaurant. Oh my goodness. You might not be able to stand up after you're done if you can finish it.
And that's going to do it for qualifying. Let's get right to that starting grid. What do you say, Matt?
Let's go ahead and check it out, Mr. Trapasso.
Kyle Holden setting quick time. 53.725 for the man in the 59. 54 thousandths over Shane Davis, and Davis was fastest in the hot lap session, so that's saying something for Holden in that Toyota. Justin Belmonte and Hunter Carmichael are going to roll it from row number 2. Paul Gallimore, Aaron Matthews, that's making up row number 3. Warren Young, Chris Davis in row number 4. Row 5 is going to go to Tim Wortman and Barry Sanders Jr. So an all-junior row 5. Ryan Huff and Jordan Schmeets in row number 6. Rounding out the top half of the field, Randy Mullins and Steve Gibson Jr.
15th belongs to Florida's own Brandon Bikey. 16th, Jeff Carson in the 81. Look for him to be fast here over the course of the long run. 17th, Darren Mullins. 18th, the 22 of Bobby Justice. Nick King rolls off 19th, while Darren Mills rounds out your top 20. 21st belongs to Paul Whitley. 22nd, Ed Broyles Jr. 23rd, Jameson Middlemiss. Top 24, David Bellisaри in the 45 ride. And if we get a little cycle magic.
Give me 1 second here.
Not a problem.
Thank you, if anybody's looking for a job as a personal care aide, let me know.
Tony, I'll put the word out for you. David Bellisari, again, getting back to the starting order here in the 45, rolls off 24. Top 25 belongs to John Binder in the 33. Derek Jacobs, 26, starting 27th. Nicholas Atwood in the 24. Matt Mack in Loose Lugs Racing in the 48. 28th. 29th is Daryl Klotz of Bad Boy Racing. Remember, he negated both laps in qualifying, so he's going to get the Start in the Pines award. He's got a lot of work to do here from the Pocono Mountains, Tony.
Oh, a little bit of strategery going on here. As Jeff Carson just took a pit side.
Some people just like, I'm telling you, Tony, some of these guys, we see it in SNN too. They just love coming through the field.
Well, I mean, here's the thing, especially with what we've seen in the past at this track, that might not be a bad call to make.
No, because
especially with as slick as the track is, with as hot as it is, cold tires, slick track, and 29 other drivers, or 28 other drivers, making a bid for turn 1, which is pretty tight confines to begin with. I think the 81 is going to come up smelling like roses tonight.
He very well could, because, Tony, we've seen it a couple times already since we've been here. One wrong corner for these guys, especially when they're in racked and stack configuration like they are now, and it turns into a junkyard Walmart size in the matter of seconds.
Oh, it absolutely does. Is Kyle Holden going to have the button? Geico restart zone is in effect tonight. Field working its way down the short chute, leaning into turn number 3. Pace car getting ready to pick up some speed. The only thing that's left for me to say is, and you can say it with me if you want to, folks, it's time to wipe the visor and adjust the 5-point harness. Grandma, grab the whoopie pies, because it's time to get it on in the Pocono Mountains. Race fans, it's showtime!
And the Jamboree in the Hills is finally underway as Kyle Holden takes him to the green flag. Matt murders the loud pedal, and it's a drag race as 30 competitors now go to battle for 90 laps here from Long Pond, Pennsylvania. Still 2x2 formation. It's anyone going down into turn 1. Who's going to take it? Looks like Holden on the top side, still door-to-door with the 59 is Shane Davis.
Still complete Noah's Ark situation as we are 2x2 all the way through this field. Davis having big connection issues.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was me or if that's Davis. And
No, that's Davis. And that's got to be terrifying if you're Hunter Carmichael right now.
Oh, my goodness. Davis, Tony, Davis is in second position right now. I think that whole field racked behind him. Can you imagine what some of these drivers must be feeling like out there on the racetrack? You can see Davis trying to stay up top out of the way as his car starts to settle down a little bit. Looks like all is well now from the Davis camp, but my God, that had to be terrifying as that happened literally just after the drop of the green flag.
I'll tell you exactly what everybody was thinking right there. You ever seen John Connect, the comedian? The guy that talks about going to Chinese buffets and them telling him to leave, you go home now. Okay.
Yeah.
This is like his McDonald's skit. Get out of the line!
Yeah. Well,
like
the
Golem.
good news, like Golem. I mean, the good news is you have enough room on the straightaways here, but getting into those turns, that's a little difficult.
Oh, that's terrifying. As right now, Kyle Holden, because of all that mess, has already carved out a 2nd and a quarter. As Belmonte and Davis now door to door, and I would trust Davis's connection about as far as I can throw you. And trust me, that ain't far because I don't have any leverage in this wheelchair.
Well, the good news is in the short turn, Tony, his car is stabilized there on the racetrack. And you're right, Kyle Holden, just throws up the fastest lap, by the way, of 54.03. And that's with all the mayhem going on just behind him as well. And look at the gift Shane Davis just, offered up to Kyle Holden there as he went psychotic on the field with the blinkies. Almost a 2-second advantage over the bad boy himself, Hunter Carmichael, in third right now, up 2 spots from where he started. Look at Paul Gillimore in third, having a great run here in the early going.
Yeah, Gallimore whipping out the Mavis paint scheme tonight on that Toyota. Paul's kind of like I was the last time I drove in the league. I was changing paint schemes about as often as I changed my socks.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. And, from a broadcast perspective, Tony, we kind of get used to, everyone's shenanigans, if you will, the ins and outs, the paints. There's the Viper. It's back.
Hey, wait a second. That's a Dodge in front of him, too.
It is. See, Tony, it's infectious.
Oh, no, that's a real tree. Okay, no, I'm sorry. That was a real tree logo, not the Dodge Ram.
I thought that was a Ram logo myself. I thought we had 2 Dodges stem to stern there, but not the case. But Hulkamania on the prowl. He's looking. He peeks down to the inside. It's going to be a drag race down into one. Bikey here. Newcomer to the series, Tony, but he has been in it to win it ever since he landed in this league.
Absolutely. Bikey is kind of the shot in the arm that this league is needed. Wow. Aaron Matthews out of Munfordville, Kentucky. First one to go sub 54 here tonight, 53.777. And Warren Young right behind him, 53.777.
You know, Warren Young's got the best seat in the house, probably as far as a draft perspective goes there, because Matthews, I mean, he just didn't crack the 53s. He buried it in the 53s. That was a lap. But now he finds himself here kind of in the hornet's nest. Is you got the 5 of Aaron Matthews just up in front of him. You got Hunter Carmichael here. He's in a lot of trouble right now because the hornet's nest is continuing to migrate forward. He's got Shane P. Davis there lurking, and 6th of Justin Belmonte as well, right off the back door.
A lot cleaner of a start than any of us were really expecting. Is unfortunately, the 81, he's about 9 seconds off the pace right now.
Yeah, 9 seconds off the pace, so he's not going to be able to benefit from that draft, Tony. But 90 laps here doesn't sound like a lot, but you got to remember, it's 2.5 miles around this tricky triangle. There's a lot of time for things to go wrong. Carson has a lot of time on the racetrack, and we know, Tony, we think we've seen it all. It's never over until that green or that checkered flag flies.
Speaking of never over till it's over, Hunter Carmichael just sets quick time, immediately bumped off by Brandon Bikey, 53.52. And we're taking a look at Nick King right now, who's starting to claw his way through the field. Currently sits +4 in 15th as Ryan Huff and Tim Wortman Jr. go door to door in front of him.
Yeah, literally door to door, as Tony said, giving him plenty of room there. Now he's going to come back up the racetrack. Wortman Jr. is going to get back in line. There's the 93 as well of Ryan Huff. Shane P. Davis, he has wasted no time trying to get back up to where he started after he about gave the entire field a massive heart attack as his car just went absolutely ballistic after the drop of the green flag side by side. Now the 5 of Matthews, he's going to pull down there with him, give him some help there on the inside. That should propel him around the 11 of Gallimore.
Yeah, Gallimore really not a lot of friendly fire right now around the 11, as everybody looking to get by that Mavis Tire Toyota, as Matthews and Gallimore still door to door. That's Gallimore on the high side, Matthews on the low shell, and side by side through the tunnel turn is usually not a good idea. Oy vey. Hey, look, it's that guy. Cougar bait anyone? Barry Sanders Jr. pushing along Warren Young right now.
Wonder if he's got a Cougar in the car as well, Tony.
Well, you'll have to ask him that.
Obviously taking that from Talladega Nights. I couldn't help myself.
Right now, though, your biggest mover in the positive direction is that ace of Brandon Bikey. It's Hulkamania time right now here in Pocono, as throw a blanket over Jordan Schmeets, Aaron Matthews, Brandon Bikey, Warren Young, and Barry Sanders Jr. So from 7th to 10th, all right there.
It's the Schmeet Special. You can get that at any Sheetz gas station throughout the Northeast. Not really, but like Tony was saying, that's one heck of a submarine sandwich. But look at Bike. He continues to just claw his way forward. Now he's side by side with Aaron Matthews. It's a bad boy racing driver. He's going to overtake him into the corner. Nick King, he might get a twofer here, Tony.
No, Nick King is way back there.
Not Nick King, I'm sorry.
You mean Matthews? Or Bikey?
Bike. I'm seeing 2 4s out there on the racetrack right now. It was...
You're mistaken, sir.
Yep, little paint glitch, not a problem. Hit the refresh button there, get that all sorted out. But anyway, still side by side with Aaron Matthews in the 1 of Bikey. They still don't have this settled, and it's slowing them down just a little bit. And look who's knocking on the back door if someone should falter. There's the 42 of Warren Young. And Barry Sanders right there as well.
Absolutely. As Vikey has now caught Schmeets. Schmeets is no slouch either. He's already +6. Uh-oh. Bikey misses in turn 1. That's going to open the door for Matthews to get alongside him down the Long Pond straightaway. Matthews slots back in line. Too afraid of getting freight trained.
Yeah, Blakey's just
picking him up, laying him down right now.
He is picking him up, laying him down. I thought, I was a little concerned here. He might be overdriving these tires just a little bit. Tony, they're hard. We call them hockey pucks at times, depending on the compound they have out there on this racing surface right now. But he is blistering through the field right now. I mean, Bikey is up 8 positions from the drop of the green flag. By far the biggest mover of the race. Well, I take that back. Mac Matkin back in that 21st place position, up 7 spots. So clearly, Matt Mackin has a good piece, but stealing the show right now, Brandon Bikey.
No, sir. Mackin's +5. Carson's clawing his way forward, though.
Timing and scoring off.
Yeah, Carson is making some headway, though, as he's already just about to crack inside the top 20. He currently runs the 21st after starting 29th. Not too shabby run. Chris Davis has already picked up a couple of spots, too. Shane Davis has a moment coming off a 4, though.
Doesn't he?
I let Paul Gallimore get back in front of him. Battle for the lead starting to heat up. Hunter Carmichael has caught Kyle Holden. So Toyota, Ford, Chevy, Toyota, Chevy, Ford, Toyota, Chevy, Ford, your top 6 in that order. Who says there's not parity in iRacing?
Exactly. Well, Holden is holding on to it, but Carmichael is there. He has ran down the 59 after he was gifted a beautiful lead there on the start. From the shenanigans to Shane P. Davis's connection.
Well, you almost got to think that we're 14 laps into this piece. A lot of it has to do with the fact that Holden may have gone too hard too soon and used up a little more right side tire than Carmichael and Belmonte did.
That's just
here we go.
Tony. Pulls the trigger, dives it down in, side by side. Coming through the tunnel turn, the 59, he's going to get the advantage. He's going to squirt back around him, and look who's there to pounce. Justin Belmonte says, thank you, sir. Oh, no, he's fighting back on the outside, not going to roll over and play dead that easily. Oh, he comes up and puts the slider on the Carmichael.
Carmichael glued to the back bumper of Belmonte. A little domestic action here. Second and third, nose to tail right now. As these guys are trying to get it sorted out quick, fast, and in a hurry, and they're going to need to. As Bikey and Davis going after each other now. That's your battle for 5th.
I just can't believe the tires on that one car have not melted off the beat of those rims as hard as he's been charging through the field, but he's still taking names out there. Is now the 79 goes back to the blinkies a little bit. Bikey now in 5th. Are you kidding me? Hulkamania on full display here at Pocono early.
Currently sits +10 on lap 16. Carmichael and Belmonte going after each other. Carmichael gets back by Belmonte. Justin's going to slot back in line. They've got a second to the good over Paul Gallimore. And, then it starts to get a little bit tighter the deeper in the field we go.
Yeah, right. I mean, just outside of this, like you mentioned, Tony, it gets really racked and stacked on top of each other, especially when you go back to the Barry Sanders caboose. Barry Sanders in 10th right now, but literally has Bad Boy Racing, a lot of the members just in front of him. 5th through 10th, they're literally in the fight of their lives right now. As Harder Carmichael continues to go back at now Kyle Holden once again. Remember, he tried to get it done the last time, did not go in his favor. Belmonte was able to take advantage of the situation. Mike going back after
Gallimore.
My goodness. I mean, it seems Mikey is just flying around this racetrack, Tony. At 53.52. The last time by, I'm pretty sure he's the fastest man on the block right now.
You are correct, sir. By about a half a tenth. Faster than anybody on track right now is that number 1 Vikey.
And that's punishing those Goodyears from the drop of the green flag.
Oh, it absolutely is. Taking a quick look, check in with the weather right now. Track temperatures dropped 2 degrees since we took the green. We're about 20 minutes to 4 in the afternoon here in sim time. Kyle Holden, Hunter Carmichael, Justin Belmonte, Paul Gallimore, and Brandon Vikey, your top 5. Shane Davis has fallen off a little bit as he's starting to fall back into the clutch. Oh, we're under caution.
Caution on the racetrack, Tony. First one of the day, lap 18.
Looks like problems for Atwood.
It was Atwood there in the 24.
Take a look here. There you see that Team Watson Racing Chevy on the bottom side. Coming through 3. Oh! Ow!
That's going to leave a mark.
Yeah. That was, yeah, that was kind of ugly.
Well then. Well, we always said when it does pop off, Tony, it is rather exciting here rather quickly when it comes to the caution department or the shenanigans on the racetrack.
2-minute boarding and a game misconduct.
Throw a little high steam in there, too.
Why not? Well, with us being 19 of 90 into this piece, I would dare say that we're probably
going to stage there, fellas. Just wanted to give you an update.
And that was the stage. So perfect timing on that one. Barry Sanders, thank you so much. Loving the new paint scheme tonight on Barry's car.
I am as well.
But with that being the stage, take a quick look at our finishing order. Holden, Carmichael, Belmonte, Gallimore, Vikey, Davis, Schmeets, Matthews, Young, and Sanders. So Barry Sanders getting the final point in the stage. And with that, we're going to step away and pay up a couple bills. And we are back at Pocono. Lights are out on the pace car. Darren Mullins pit just as that caution was about to come out. Hunter Carmichael gaining a couple spots. Bikey up to third. Belmonte in fourth. Kyle Holden, trouble getting into his box. Cost him about 2 full seconds and dropped him 4 spots back to fifth.
Yeah, just like that. One little tiny mistake. Tony mentioned 2 seconds, and he falls off the cliff back just inside the top 5 there. At 59 was bad fast, though, in a short run. But what I'm interested in, can Darren Mullins here, it looks like the musician of the week, coming down pit road just before that caution flag wave. Let's see how important track position and air is here, a.k.a. aero. See if Darren Mullins can keep it up here at the front.
More importantly, can Shane Davis's connection hold on for a restart?
Didn't even want to bring it up, because the broadcaster's curse has been strong with me as of late.
Yeah, that's what you got me for. I can bring that stuff up all the time. And as we get ready to turn him back loose, Mullins currently your biggest mover at plus 16. Drops the hammer, and we are back underway as Viking pushing on Carmichael. Down the front straightaway is Belmonte going to try to squeeze up into line right in front of Holden. Davis right there as well, and baby, these guys are starting to get after it.
Yeah, they're getting after it hard on these restarts. It's Pocono. We expect that little Indy Snick action on the front stretch, perhaps. When they come by this time, there's Belmonte. He is going after Holden on the inside. You can make this work here on fresh tires, but you got to wait till it gets a little bit of heat in them. Oh, look at the slide job there. The lead, Shane Davis backed off the throttle there a little bit and let him in, because I know how tough that can be to pull, especially from turn 2. Fresh set of grip just isn't quite there yet. Bikey doing the squirrel, doing the jig, coming off the top. And look who's bump drafting with him, Hunter Carmichael, and they got ahead of steam.
Well, they were reverse of that 1 lap ago, and now what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Carmichael pushing on Bikey, and here comes Holden to the inside of Carmichael, coming off of turn number 1. Down the long pond straight they come, and they're 3 wide back there around Barry Sanders Jr. just outside the top 10.
Yeah, no one seems to find the eye of the storm like Barry Sanders Jr. at times. But he is going to war right now with the 22 of Bobby Justice. I thought he's going to be able to clear there, but that 22 got a good run there on the high side of the racetrack, fighting back there door to door.
New lead.
Now, new going for the lead, Brandon Bikey. Haha, Hulkamania. Well, that didn't take long. Drops the people's elbow on the field. I know that's The Rock, but my goodness.
3 wide.
Oh, boys, be careful. Oh, the 6 just about slaps and high fives the 64 and 79 almost simultaneously. And this storm is a brewing, Tony. These guys better be careful. Here comes the 79 Shane Davis. There's the 5 of Aaron Matthews on the inside as well. Someone thought, is that Nick King that poked their nose down the inside as well? Yes, he did.
No, that's Gallimore.
I'm not sure what's going on with Crazy Paints here, but I'm pretty sure it has Gallimore and Nick King reversed here on my end. Drag race down the front, 2 teammates there. They got to get the 42. Warren Young, Aaron Matthews. Warren Young's going to prevail here in the high lane.
Going back up towards the front, Belmonte all over Darren Mullins coming out of the 1. Down the long pond straight they go. That Ford looking to slingshot off the Chevy in front of him. He's got to worry about the Chevy behind him, though. As here comes Davis to the inside going into the tunnel turn.
Yeah, Davis is really making that low line work really good for him in that tunnel turn. You got to be careful when you come up. Ooh, good skinny. That was almost disastrous.
You stay there till the parade goes by. You come down, we'll lick you. Right now, Bikey shows the way. Kyle Holden sitting in second. And they've already carved out about 3/4 of a second to the good over this battle for third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh.
Aaron Mullins doing a great job holding on to the final podium position right now in third. I don't know if anyone has anything for Bikey right now. Kenny Capola not in the field. Mr. Excitement missing in action.
I just noticed that.
Because I'm telling you right now, that Pit Viper, he is on a tear right now. But look at this freight train. They got to be hauling the mail coming down through here right now. That train was cooking.
Well, let's take a look.
Cars. Back in line here. Ooh, Belmonte gives a little rough tap, maybe a little too soon there to Mullins. You're going to break formation here, so maybe not quite 192. Close enough, 191 barreling down into one.
With Shane Davis to his inside, nonetheless. Davis on a tear right now, trying to get back up there, starting outside row one. Or no, he started on pole.
Yeah, Davis started on the pole, and then we know what happened shortly after the green flag dropped. Shane P. Davis, that connection would be terrorizing me if I was the three of Hunter Carmichael, Warren Young, and others just behind him. Here goes Belmonte pulling the trigger now. He's going to try and get around Darren Mullins as he sends him up the hill. What turn forward, Tony Trapasso? Not required here. It's a side-by-side drag race. Who does Shane go with? He's going to go with the 6. That should give him the extra mustard there. It doesn't. Okay, there he goes. Now he's going to pull the trigger, drop down. I thought he's going to have a little bit more help there, clear Mullins a little more easily, but Shane kind of hesitated a little bit, squeezes himself into that outside line now. Is Hunter Carmichael in company? They're coming. Got the bad boys, bad toys right behind him. You got Hunter Carmichael, Warren Young. Gallimore is the only one really taking them out of sequence there, but the bad boys are having a great run here early as well.
They are at that as Davis still working on the backside of Mullins coming out of turn number 3. Mullins still sitting plus 13, but your race leader, Brandon Bikey, who's got a rearview mirror full of Kyle Holden. These guys are a second and a half to the good over that battle for third. Well, Belmonte's kind of on an island all by himself, but right behind him, though, from 4th on back to roughly 10th, these guys are just going after each other.
Yeah, it's like the trenches and the invasion of Normandy right now, 4th through 10th. You're not wrong, Tony. I mean, every lap, these drivers are flip-flopping positions on the racetrack. One corner, Shane Davis is on the inside. The next corner, he's on the outside, and vice versa. And that's all the way through, 4th through 10th right now. 42 of Mullins, the 42 there of Warren Young. He got a little squirrely getting into the tunnel turn. Now rocketing off of, coming off the 3, going back down that big, long front stretch. It reminds me of a runway for a 747, it's so wide. The draft, a really big factor there, Tony, especially on that stint of the racetrack.
It's long enough to land one odd, but getting it back out of here is going to be just about impossible.
If they could rig up one of those, Navy carrier type catapults, it might be possible.
You still don't have enough room. You need exactly 1 mile to get a 747 off the air, or off the ground.
Well, unfortunately, you're right. We don't have that on the front stretch, but the racetrack was straight. We have enough, more than enough.
And the only reason I know that little factoid is because I used to work at County Airport up here near Syracuse. And we had to extend one of our runways in case things went wrong in Syracuse. They could emergency land and take off jets at our place. Not that we really had much room to begin with, but oh! Looks like Gibson may have caught the wall.
Yeah, just a little bit there. No, that was Mullins in the 42.
No, that was Gibson. Oh, it was Warren Young, I'm sorry. The Apex 42 just blasted the wall. Aaron Matthews working on Gallimore now. Gallimore on that way high side. Gets to run down the front chute, but he's going to leave that door open one too often. And Matthews is going to walk right through. Belmonte under heavy pressure from Shane Davis now. Side by side through the tunnel turn. Belmonte on the top shelf. Davis on the low side. And Davis just looks himself open for Hunter Carmichael. Davis still trying to dig on that bottom lane. But trapping help. Now Carmichael drops down to push Davis along. They both want to get by Justin Belmonte in the 6. Davis does get the clear. Carmichael has the nose out front, but Belmonte hanging tough. Carmichael throws the slider in the middle of 1, and Belmonte has to back out of it. And here comes Warren Young right on his back bumper. They're leaning on each other down the long pond straightaway. Carmichael and Belmonte, no love lost between those two. Currently working lap 33 of 90 here tonight. 42 of Young gets sideways. He's going to open the door for Gallimore to get to him. Aaron Matthews, Steve Gibson, all right there. Darren Mullins is falling back to 10th. There he is. And Jordan Schmeetz in 11th. As right now, Schmeetz and Mullins going door to door. Well, at least stem to stern anyways. And we've lost Matt. Davis and Carmichael have both cleared Belmonte now. Carmichael back even with the board. Davis started outside row 1. Kyle Holden started on the pole. And those two guys run 2nd and 3rd. Brandon Bikey, though, 0.3 of a second to the good over Holden right now. Flat getting it. Warren Young in the 42. Paul Gallimore has caught him in the 11. So it's 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th all right there. And Aaron Matthews just far enough back that should something pop off, he has one chance to make an evasive maneuver and hopefully miss the carnage. This race quickly becoming a 2-horse race at the front of this piece. There is Brandon Bikey and there is Kyle Holden all within each other. Is Carmichael looking to the inside of Davis going into 1. Carmichael full send it mode. I was wondering if the 3 was holding back a little bit, as he hasn't had quite the fall off here in the latter part of this run that some of the other guys around him have. As a matter of fact, Carmichael was one of the fastest cars on track last time by. Davis and Belmonte go door to door through the tunnel turn. Belmonte with the advantage this time on the low side. All the drafting help, though, staying with the 79 of Davis, who's the points leader coming into tonight. only got a handful of races left in the regular season. Everybody looking to punch their ticket into the playoffs. Fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth, all right there on top of each other. That's Belmonte, Davis, Young, Gallimore, Matthews, all just going after it right now. As now Young works the inside of Davis. Davis is having problems here, especially this deep into a tire run. He may have worn his stuff out trying to get by the cars earlier, especially when he was doing battle with Darren Mullins for as long as he did. And Warren Young starting to just let the race come to him. Just I say that Young and Gallimore going door to door. Young car does not seem happy on that low side. And we've got a battle for the lead. Holden just glued to the one of Bikey. Holden going to look to the inside, going into the tunnel turn side by side. Holden on the bottom side, Bikey on the top shelf, slipping and sliding. Holden going to get the spot. Slide job. They both make it stick, and they've got 3 seconds to the good, as I believe we are coming to go in the stage. At the conclusion of lap 40 is when I believe the caution is going to fly, folks. But I've been wrong before, and I usually am. Holden now back to the point. Barry Sanders Jr. gets by Schmitz and moves into the top 10 for the first time this stage. Schmitz trying to battle back on that low side. Not getting the greatest amount of grip down there. Sanders going to have the run coming down the Long Pond straightaway. Belmonte and Davis going after each other one more time. That's Belmonte is trying to get by the 79 of Davis. Gallimore right there as well. And don't ever count Warren Young or Aaron Matthews out of this fight. Pushes Davis down the front straightaway here. Looks like Daryl Klotz just had problems. We're going to stick with this battle, though. No caution flag for Klotz as he immediately got it to the pits. Belmonte continues to get freight trained. Unfortunately, that Ford caught on the bottom lane. Not where he was hoping to be, is 3 Chevys and a Toyota all in line, as he's going to slot back as now the caboose in this freight train, 4th through 8th. It's Holden continuing to show the way at the front. Bikey glued to him. 3 seconds is the gap back to Hunter Carmichael in 3rd. We stay green. And there it is. That is the stage, folks. Holden, Bikey, Carmichael, Davis, Gallimore, Young, Matthews, Belmonte, Gibson, and Barry Sanders getting the final point, as we are going to step away, pay a couple bills, and we'll be back right after this. And we are back at Pocono, round number 20 of the Moonshiners Racing Cup Series. And joining us now, the driver of the number 59, who just swept both stages after starting from pole position, Kyle Holden. Much better pit stop on the second time around than it was on that first one.
Yeah, we just slid right through there. Just wasn't anticipating it. Didn't even try practicing it. But luckily, that second pit stop was okay. We're firing our pit crew for that one, for letting Brandon in front of us there. But hopefully we can keep the tires on it and get by him again here and maybe get a win.
Best of luck to you, Kyle. As the lights go
Appreciate
down
it.
on the pace car. Where am I putting you back to?
It's Full Throttle Racing.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.
Well, there you heard him say, if you're looking to be a crew chief, they let Bikey get by him as Holden winning both stages. Darren Mullins doing the same thing again. Pit just before that caution came out for the stage. And he's going to have the hammer here as we get ready to turn him back loose for the final stage of tonight. Mullins, Bikey, Holden, Carmichael, Young, Matthews, Gibson Jr., Schmeets, Carson, and Sanders Jr. Your top 10 as we get ready to fire them back off. Mullins trying to use that pit strategy to his advantage here tonight. To see if it's going to work any better this time. Maybe he made some adjustments under the caution. We don't know. Like a quick look at the weather conditions here in the closing laps. We're down under the century mark for track temperature. That's the good news. Bad news is that wind is still gusting up to 15 miles an hour. That's never a comfortable feeling. As it's blowing straight crosswind down the front straightaway. So that's probably why we've seen so many guys just brushing that wall coming off the floor, because that crosswind has caught them. Pace car getting ready to make that hard left turn. There it goes. Mullen has the button. Into the Geico restart zone we go. And back underway as Mullins drops the hammer. Bikey tries to go with him. Holden working the inside. Drag race going down the front straight here on the restart. Bikey on the top lane. Holden on the bottom side. Cold tires. Everybody tiptoeing it through turn one. Down the long pond straightaway they come with a good head of steam. Still 2x2 back there just outside the top five. Looks like Warren Young and Jordan Schmeets getting caught there. The 81 of Jeff Carson into the top 10 after pit starting. So good use of his time there. Carson, your biggest mover here tonight. As right now, Bikey and Mullins running stem to stern. Bikey back to the point. Mullins in second. Carmichael in third. Holden back in fourth. And this top four are starting to walk away from Aaron Matthews' company, as Matthews has Warren Young glued to his back bumper. As right now, Jeff Carson under heavy pressure from Chris Davis. And here comes the 43 of Steve Gibson Jr. Gibson now looking to the inside on Carson. Davis right there as well. That is a Waffle House situation down the long pond straightaway. Everybody's starting to get sorted out here as Bikey and Mullins still on top of each other. Mullins trying to make a move happen on the bottom side. Carmichael there. That's going to put Mullins back to third. Like Mullins might be battling a very tight condition right now, as that car definitely does not like the bottom lane as much as those other cars are loving the top side. Not something we normally see here at Pocono is the top side charge working as effectively as it has here tonight. As a matter of fact, you really have to set these passes up almost a full lap ahead of time to make them stick. Bikey, Carmichael, Mullins, Holden, Matthews, your top five right now. Throw a blanket over your top eight. And that is Jeff Carson back there in the 81, who started from the pits. So he's already moved up 20 spots, respectively. Currently sitting in 8th.
Sitting in 8th is the 81 of Jeff Carson. Tony, you mentioned coming up and smelling like roses here at the end of this piece. Hasn't been too much action on the racetrack, unless maybe I missed something during my time away out of the broadcast booth, but nonetheless,
Just a stage break.
Carson is on the move in eighth position through 48 laps of competition. There he is right there working just in front of the 29 of Chris Davis. Heck of a drive out of that Toyota.
Well, actually, both those Toyotas pit started, so both of them currently sitting plus 20 right now. That's impressive that these two guys have come through the field basically together.
Little teammate action going on there, perhaps.
Part from column A, part from column B.
It's been working for those Toyotas nonetheless. TRD, hey, they always say let's go places. Carson and Davis, they're going places all right to the front of this piece. You see the 5 there pulled down, a little help from Warren Young.
Schmidt's caught up on that high side. As Young finally able to get by Schmidt. Schmidt's going to cross him over, coming down the long pond straightaway. Now Schmidt's on the inside. Let's see what Young can do on the top shelf. As that is Carson right there with these guys.
That's the problem, Tony. I cannot see the 1 on the side of Jordan Schmidt's. I just see a 4.
Yeah, you might want to change his color combination.
That's why I was... Okay, now it makes sense. Well, at least I've solved problem 1 of 2. Ooh, a little swirly there, right around Warren Young. I'll say they're working together. Look at the Toyota action down on the inside as they're both going to try and clear the 42 here, going into 1.
Davis pushing Carmichael along right now as they're both trying to work on that Chevy of Warren Young. Young caught up on the high side right now as he has got he's inundated with Toyotas. He's got Carson, Davis, and Gibson all there in their Yotas. As now here comes Young on the inside of Carson going into the tunnel turn. Carson going to let the big dog eat though. Hold down the number 7 spot, currently sitting plus 21.
Yeah, that 81 is eating good in the neighborhood. And you're right, Warren Young, he is in the battle of the Toyotas right now. Number 1 song on his playlist, Why Can't We Be Friends? Oh!
I think he's singing that to the wall right now as the Jonesville, North Carolina native blasts the concrete just past the safer barrier. That probably rattled his feelings a little bit. We go back up towards the front. Darren Mullins, Aaron Matthews all over each other for 4th and 5th. Here comes Schmidt's looking to follow Matthews through. Mullins, though, hanging tough on that second lane. And they've got just enough rubber laid down in that second lane for it to not be undrivable.
You gotta have your hand firmly planted on that steering wheel when you go up to that top side of the racetrack, Tony. You're right, just barely enough rubber.
Yikes.
Who's in the heat of that push there? Of course, Barry Sanders right there, front row. VIP tickets to that.
Steve Gibson Jr., Justin Belmonte, Barry Sanders Jr., and Paul Gallimore all on top of each other. Sanders working the inside on Belmonte right now. A little Ford on Chevy action. Here just outside your top 10 is Steve Gibson Jr. has the last spot in the top 10. And Barry Sanders, if he could go 3 for 3, that'd be incredible. Oh, yeah, certainly. Second. Battle for second, hot and heavy is Kyle Holden and Hunter Carmichael going door to door. Carmichael caught on that way high side, trying to let it run. He's going to get the drafting help down the front stretch. Holden's going to have to slot back in and get the toe going into 1 to try to set something up that long pond. But right now, your top 4, full second to the clear over that battle for 5th and 6th between Schmidt's and Mullins.
Yeah, Schmidt's and Mullins in a dogfight right now. Knocking on the back door of that fight, Jeff Carson. And he's brought his battle buddy, Chris Davis. You said so yourself, Tony. They have been working together since they both pit started this piece 53 laps ago. And they methodically continue to work through the field together.
And here's the thing to remember, too, Matt. We went through the first two stages really without a caution for incident. I mean, yes, the stage one ended a lap early, but we went stage two completely caution-free.
Caution-free.
I don't think we're going to see that here in the closing laps.
No, and as intense as the action was on the racetrack, I thought for sure we were going to see a couple yellows in there, Tony. It's tough to duke it out like that here at Pocono without there being some form of a yellow flag condition on the racetrack, but not for these boys. But you're right, Tony. Stage number 3, the stakes get higher, the egos get bigger, and I think, you know, something's about to cook off here in the closing laps of this race. Continue to watch Hunter Carmichael right here at the front.
Carson working the inside of Schmitz now.
A little slide job there. Whoa! Hang on to it, Jeff Carson.
Carson now plus 22.
Think Jeff Carson likes this racetrack, Tony?
Whatever gave you that idea? Probably the fact that he started dead spanking last and he's currently running just outside the top 5 as he's battling 4th, 5th with Mullins. That'll make him plus 26 if he can do it.
He almost literally has all the Yodas with him.
Yeah, I mean, you take a look right now. Yodas are the lead dogs here in the top 12 with 5.
With 5, and they've, you know, a few of them, you know, they've come all the way from the back. So I'll say they got something right in the TRD camp. Is Schmitz almost smears it.
Say that 5 times fast. I dare you.
Not going to come out right. I can promise you that.
True story. As we are closing in on 30 to go, and we are seeing green flag pit stops. Last time these guys were down, it was only about 15 laps ago. I think some of these guys are pitting just a little too early.
That's what I was thinking there too, Tony. But I mean, how many times have we seen these drivers know something that we didn't up here in the booth? We had to find out, you know, over the closing laps of the race here. Jeff Carson really wants this spot. He's in the vibe right now, in the zone. Oh, the Schmitz caught it that time, Tony. He really caught a piece of the wall.
And Chris Davis had to bail quick to not get into him. As here comes Warren Young to follow Davis through. Schmitz is a very wounded soldier right now in that Ford Mustang. Was your highest running Ford in the top 14, but not so much anymore as Justin Belmonte is right there knocking on the door.
Belmonte is now there, like you said, Tony, and you're right. Schmitz is wounded and probably worn out. I mean, those Toyotas have just had him in the pressure cooker for the last 15 laps or so. And he clearly drove the axles off of that race car because, I mean, he hit the wall coming out of 3. I mean, the couple laps ago, a little bit. The last time by, he really macked it. And now that Ford in trouble is, look at everyone doing the Indy snake behind him. As the Toyota boys, Carson and Davis, continue to charge towards the front, all over now the back of Garen Mullins. They could crack the top 5 here shortly.
Mullins, though, for what it's worth, hanging tough. Now, he was last down on lap 37. Everybody else was down on 42. 42. So Mullins pitting just before the stage break as here comes Davis and Carson working the inside through the tunnel turn. Mullins caught on that high side, and the high side on corner exit is not where you want to be coming out of turn 2. And here comes Schmitz now. Got that thing collected, and Ford on Ford crime there is Schmitz and Belmonte go door to door
Whoa.
or 3 wide. There it is.
There it goes. The Bob uncorks one. Caution on the racetrack. Justin Belmonte on the Illick side of the receiving end. Watch this.
Not sure I want to.
It all starts to go wrong right here. Too many cars occupying the same piece of real estate or trying to. Carson gets really squirrely. Belmont. And there you go. Barry Sanders catches a piece of the wall trying to avoid it.
Let's watch that from the eye in the sky. And if what I'm thinking happened, which I couldn't see 100% from the other view that we were looking at. So Carson gets a little wiggle. Mullins goes to the high side, flirts with the wall, comes off the wall. Okay, that's what it was. That is what I was seeing. We're gonna break this down as we get to the corner, and then we're gonna slow it down. Okay. So there's Carson. Carson gets loose. There's Mullins.
Comes down,
and unfortunately, Belmonte's there.
That all started by the double stake and shake from the 81 of Jeff Carson as he got loose twice.
We're gonna watch this at quarter speed now.
Keep your eye on the 9. That's where it starts to
The
go
81.
bad. Or the 81, I'm sorry, the 81.
Yeah, wrong league.
Wrong league.
Same car, wrong league. But yeah, you're gonna see Carson get just a little bit of a wiggle, and Mullins is gonna go up higher than he really should to try to not get into him.
Right.
And Mullins, back into Mullins' car, steps out a little bit there too.
Yeah,
Not
I think Mullins
quite as bad as Carson though, because there's Carson. He gets sideways there on throttle. Mullins goes high.
Carson loses it again.
And both the 41 of Schmitz and the 6 of Belmonte, as Mullins comes off the wall and just hip checks into Belmonte, and that's what brings the caution out.
Gallimore able to get by. I believe Barry Sanders caught a piece of the wall there trying to not absolutely obliterate the 6. Everyone down on pit road, Tony.
As you do is, we're... man, it's going to be close. If it's 100% fuel fill, they might be able to make it from here on fuel. If it's anything less than 100% fuel fill, they're probably not going to make it from here.
Yeah, it's not at these speeds they're running.
Shane Davis, though, he was just down back on lap 55. Steve Gibson was down on lap 56. Though both those guys stay out. And Paul Gallimore gambles on 2.
Ooh.
With as loose as these cars have been on throttle, that's a big gamble.
That's a big gamble, unless those 2 tires perhaps tighten them up a little bit.
Well, you'd have to put lefts on for that to be the case. And
can you tell what he put on?
I cannot. I can only go by how long he was in the box.
10-4, Tony. That's what I thought. I wasn't sure maybe if the Master Wizard, a.k.a. you, had a little more in-depth information, perhaps.
No, I mean, that's about all the information we've got right there. But
yeah, you're right. Definitely took 2 tires there. But man, if you're right, if you put rights on that thing, he's going to come back down pit road.
Yeah, probably not a bad idea.
Bad decision.
But then again, Davis only took 2 under green flag conditions. I think the 79 is going to be a real handful when they get to turn 1.
Well, that's the one side. The other side, what does this connection do is now the 79 is fall.
Oh, this could get bad.
Does the connection, that's what he's been having, the connection problems on these restarts just after the drop of the green flag, just like he was when we started this piece back on the front row. Lights out on the pace car. Look at the Toyotas, Gibson, Holden, Brandon Bikey, all right there. They've been the class of the field, especially Bikey. Aaron Matthews, Chris Davis, Jeff Carson, Darren Mullins, Nick King, and Warren Young round out the top 10 right now.
5
Extremely cool.
Toyotas in the top 10.
Yeah, the only one that's outside the top 10, or the only two I want to say, is Ryan Huff and Paul Gallimore. All the rest of them are there.
And they're, after abysmal stops for both those guys, you know, they're being scored as some of the last cars on the lead lap back in 21st and 22nd.
I'm telling you, Chris Davis and Jeff Carson got something figured out here.
They do. The question is it going to be enough?
Is it enough for Hulkamania and Brandon Bikey in that one? Because he is on another planet.
Well, I mean, it's been the night of Toyota so far. As you know, Holden won both stages. Bikey's led a ton of laps here. You know, Steve Gibson Jr. taking some pit strategy. Pace car getting ready to haul it on off. Here we go. Into the Geico restart zone we come. Davis has the button, waits on it, jumps on the loud pedal, and we are back underway. And Gibson didn't get going, stacks up that outside lane.
Well, did they not get going, or was that a Toyota move there to try to get the springboard action? Doesn't seem like it's going to pay off. Perhaps he's put the tires a little bit. That's going to give a clean hole shot and lead to Shane Davis on 2 tires. That couldn't have worked out any better for the 79. It is all out mayhem from second on back.
It is at that, as you've got 3 Toyotas slugging it out for second, third, and fourth. It's Gibson in the 43, Holden in the 59, and Bikey in the Hulkamania number 1. I mean, this is either going to end up really good or it's going to end very poorly. And I'm not sure which yet.
I'm not so sure either, but I love the move right now by Kyle Holden. If Holden has an advantage on the ones right off the rip here with some fresh sticky shoes on these race cars, wasn't able to clear though. That's going to put Bikey back in front of the 59. Aaron Matthews there lurking in the 5. He's right there.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, you take a look at your top 6. Matthews in the 5 and Shane Davis in the 79. Those are the only 2 Chevys in your top 6 right now. Darren Mullins back there, and he's got to deal with yet another Toyota in the form of Jeff Carson, who's running an 8. As Gibson goes way wide coming through the tunnel turn, that's going to open the door for Bikey. It was inside. Toyota on Toyota crime for second place right now.
Yeah, it has been the shining of Toyotas here tonight from Long Pond, Pennsylvania. They are large and in charge. They may be the few, but the Toyotas, these guys are the crowd here tonight. SM Marines. Bikey able to clear. Now Bikey has a clear shot at Shane Davis. Only difference is Shane Davis up the road a little bit, about 1.22 seconds in front of that one.
Yep, Davis running for his life right now, because I don't think Davis can make it from here. I don't think any of these guys can actually make it from here when they were last down pit road on lap 60. That's going to be a tough ask.
The only way I see these guys making it from here is a little help from that thing that we don't want to see.
Correct. You nobody got time for that.
Not when you're going almost 200 miles an hour.
And it's a 2-minute and 35-second parade lap for the pacing.
Tell you what, these boys have put on one heck of a show here in prime time. The right time to catch Moonshine live on SRM. Thinking about joining the family, you know you want to already. Smash the like button, ring the bell. 7 days of high-flying racing action right here on SRM, Tony Trapasso. No need to wander anywhere else. Come home to the leader in sim esports right here on SRM.
As we are watching this battle for fourth just become a slugfest. Aaron Matthews on the low side, Steve Gibson Jr. on the top shelf, and Gibson, unfortunately, is going to have to give up the spot as here comes the 42 of Warren Young as well.
Warren Young says, "Get back, you don't know me like that." He's going to clear. Nice pass, great execution there by Warren Young in the thick of it. Oh, oh, there goes Carson. Did he save it? No, he doesn't. Oh.
And he ripped the left front suspension clean off that car.
Oh, geez, it's like a pit bull got kicked in the face.
Not only that, but that's Bluetooth.
Yeah, that's...
Bluetooth doesn't work for suspension arms, folks.
Toyota man
well,
down.
Crap.
That's going to kick a biscuit.
Oh, no. Talking about kicking a biscuit. Jesus. Four of Nick King is a mess. Bangs the apron, comes up, skates the front end, gets it collected. It's Hunter Carmichael and Justin Belmonte right behind him. Oh, they tried to split the difference and missed.
Now, was Jeff Carson's incident was separate from this?
It was.
Oh, I feel so bad for Jeff, Nick King as well. I mean,
okay,
Carson.
So watch this one. There's Carson, and it's going to have Barry Sanders, or no, it's King. It's going to brush the wall. I'm sorry. So King bangs the wall. Carson gets sent. He's off the racing surface far enough and he gets pointed back straight quick enough that we do not go under caution there. We go back up to King. Bangs the apron.
That's where it all went wrong for him.
And Belmonte and Carmichael are going to try to split him going through three.
Right, because he lost all that momentum, clipped the apron.
And unfortunately, Belmonte just gets into him. Perfect pit maneuver, and around goes the Watson Racing number 4. I'm digging the paint scheme this week. I really am.
I'm digging it too. But I'm telling you who's not digging what just happened on the racetrack. The 81 of Jeff Carson and the 4 Nick King. Nick King probably furious with himself for catching that flat there. Because he had to really reel it big time, and that's what set up the... I mean, don't get me wrong. That move is tempting right there on the racetrack. I get the logic there. I know what Justin Belmonte there was thinking. In fact, I pulled a similar move.
Now, Matt, and, here's the big issue. Your top 13 just stayed out. The only ones for certain that I'm 99.9% sure can make it from here are from 14th of Darren Mullins on back.
Yeah, that we can probably say comfortably, Tony.
Yeah, because, I mean, there's 22 to go. You can make it from there.
Right.
60, I mean, 8 laps is a big ask around this place. And God forbid you run out of gas coming out of turn 1, you're not making it back around.
Yeah, this isn't a half-mile facility. I mean, lengthwise, this is the same as Talladega. It doesn't look the same, but lengthwise, it's the same. That's... 8 laps, that's more than 16 miles. I mean.
And you can see it at the top of your screen, when we say tunnel turn, you can kind of see it from here. That is a tunnel that runs under the racetrack where the haulers come in, the RVs come in. That's how you get to the
Special
infield.
access, right? Special access vehicles, EMTs.
Yep. And we call it the
that's
tunnel
why-
turn because that's exactly what it is.
I mean, technically, there's a lot of racetracks that have tunnels. I mean, Daytona's got one you go through. I mean, Homestead, Miami, but
Yeah, but it's on the
tunnel-
straightaway.
It's on the straightaway. Bingo. The tunnel turn is iconic at Pocono because that tunnel is, it's in the turn. And it makes for a very unique and exhilarating experience, especially if you're on the racetrack getting to send it through there. The problem is when you get it wrong or you catch a piece of the flat like you seen Nick King do, what happened to Nick King there, and the mayhem that comes on and onsets shortly after that, just like what everyone just witnessed.
I mean, the corner's not banked a lot as it is, but jeepers.
You're looking at these lap times they're running, Tony. I mean, they're not leaving much on the table. I mean, they're getting all of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I mean, your fastest lap of the race right now belongs to the number 1 of Brandon Vikey, and now it's his turn to start next to Shane Davis, Kyle Holden there as well.
Matthews.
This has the possibility of getting very ugly very quickly going into turn 1.
Yeah, this can get downright nasty here very soon, or very quickly, just like you said, Tony. It's the calm before the storm, right? Everyone pace speed right now. Those 8-cylinder V8s, about 3,000 RPM, not for much longer because they're about to be banging off the limiter just over 9,000, 9,100 as they fire off into 1. Pace car going to make that hard turn. That's going to give Shane Davis, as he enters the Geico restart zone, he's going to stand on it. And here we go. Here comes the Fury one more time here from Pocono, Long Pond, Pennsylvania. Another great restart by Shane P. Davis. Has Brandon Blakey in tow. Does he try to dive bomb him? No, Holden has it. Oh, no, someone's off into the wall.
Matthews.
We stay green.
Matthews just got yeeted, and we do stay green. However, not for much longer, I don't think.
Well, still green, as Barry Matthews is going to overtake his teammate here. Side-by-side action there. Matthews gives him plenty of room. Going back here, look at the carnage, the aftermath. There's the 48. There's the 83 Awartman. Gillimore was sorts out of shape.
Let's watch this again.
Gallimore, I'm sorry.
Now you're going to see the white and green number 5 get yeeted going into 1. And it's going to affect these guys back here, Mack and Wortman and Gallimore. Oi. Both rear tires just came up off the ground on Wortman's car.
Yeah, literally a race car to the face. Tony, we somehow, by a miracle,
Call that the
still
prison
green.
shower special. And I just broke Matt again. Davis, Vikey, Holden, Gibson, Davis, your top 10 or top 5 as we currently sit.
See what happens when you throw some cougar bait in there?
I know a couple prison guards that fall into that category. Look at her and go, you're a little too pretty to be a prison guard, aren't you? She goes, I gotta eat too, don't I? Okay. I hope they at least give you a weapon. Oh!
Get a weapon.
I didn't notice that. New paint scheme on the 33 tonight, going with
How did you miss this?
the red sun drop.
Yeah, that's the more unique. That's the rarer of the two. I believe that was a very limited edition run.
That might be the hard version of the sun drop.
Yeah, and you're right, Tony. And that's what I'm thinking. Oh, wait a minute. Something goes way wrong.
Steve Gibson just got sent, and we are under caution.
Gibson was absolutely annihilated.
Looks like Chris Davis maybe had a part in it too.
Is it a
little
bump
bit of-
draft gone wrong?
Well, they were Indy snaking it. And,
Oh.
yep. They were trying to Indy snake, and one came up and the other didn't. Well then.
One Indy snakes it, and Gibson Indy bakes it off the inside barrier.
Well, now here's the good news. 17 to go. Make that 16 now. As you're getting ready to catch the pace cars, it's coming out to turn 1 right about now. If you come down now, you can definitely make it from here. And I think I'm liking the odds of the guys that didn't pit previously. Even more so now. If they come down this next time by.
If that's the big question. If, but you would think Shane Davis, Kyle Holden, Bikey, Davis, Warren Young, etc. You know, those guys would come down pit road here and put some, you know, at least I'd put some fuel in the car. I mean, maybe they can make it from here with these cautions, Tony. I don't see how.
No,
but
we haven't had enough of them.
Just I'm not seeing the urgency here at the front of this piece.
Well,
we're gonna find out.
Maybe they were hoping for something like this to happen. As we're 16 to go, coming to 15 to go.
The other thing is, though.
Go ahead.
The other thing is, Tony. I mean, the leaders at the front of this piece right now, they're not off on speed. In fact, they're some of the fastest cars on the racetrack. So it's not like this is going high stakes mode. I mean, they have cars that have ran at the front of the field. I guess it's going to be the tell-all right here. Here they come.
And they are coming down pit road to get that final stop out of the way. Nope, they're not.
This really just got interesting. They faked us out. We thought they were coming. Tony's fuel economy calculations are saying they should have came. What in tarnation is going on from Long Pond, Pennsylvania right now?
I don't see 30 laps out of a tank of fuel. Now, Matt, if you could turn on your UI on your end, is there a fuel fill cap?
Stand by.
It'll be same place as the tires on the left column.
Correct. Negative.
Well, okay, then they might be able to make it. Davis is going to be the one that's going to be the tough one, because he pit 5 laps before anyone else did.
I want to say the most I was able to get was 25 or 26 laps out of 100% fuel load in this race car.
Well, you figure you can save 2 laps under caution. We've had 2 cautions in this last fuel run. That's going to put Kyle Holden and the rest of those guys right there on that cusp.
On the fridge, right. I mean,
but Davis is still on the outside looking in.
Looking in. So Davis clearly has to be banking on cautions, breeding cautions, and, you know, and closing this last 15 laps out with more shenanigans here in the script before we close this deal out.
Yeah, I mean, this is getting interesting.
I'm not in that race car. I'm up here in the booth. From my perspective, I mean, these drivers, I mean, they have been the class of the field. I mean, Mikey, Hulkamania, I mean, these guys, I just don't see the reason for them to really have to gamble this big unless track position's that big, but we've seen other drivers able to come through the field in the masses.
Yeah, I mean, take a look at John Binder, perfect example. Right. Started 27th, currently sits 5th. There you see him there on the outside, so make that 6th. It's Hunter Carmichael to start to his inside.
I mean, even Jeff Carson, I mean, before he took a kamikaze to the face.
Yep. He was he started dead last. He and Chris Davis both started just dead spanking last from the pits, and they were running top 5.
Right.
And not doing anything crazy pit strategy wise. They were just running the cars.
They had the performance in the race car to go out there on the racetrack and get it done. Exactly. This is going to get really interesting. You know, let us know what you're thinking in the live chat. Can Shane P. Davis, Bikey and company, these guys at the front, can they make it on fuel? Let us know your thoughts. 14 laps to go. Lights are out on the pace car. Tony, take us back to green, brother.
Okay, so Chris Crane saying it's cherry sundrop. As we work our way through turn 3, Davis has the trigger. Pace car lights are out. 13 laps to go when we take the green. Davis, Holden, Vikey, Young, Carmichael, your top 5. John Bender starting right there, sitting currently plus 19. Pace car is in. Davis has the button. And Vikey gives him the chrome horn. Get going.
Get going. Shoots him straight out over Holden. Bikey wants to utilize that draft, try to get a little bit of a speed boost here. Going into 1. Definitely takes care of Shane P. Davis. Didn't work for Bikey. Side by side with the 59 time himself. Who's usually the top lane's going to prevail here. Look at Shane P. Davis. Bails on the top line.
Oh, we're under caution.
Well, that would be why. Caution back out on the racetrack. Tony Trapasso had it spotted.
King and Wortman. Let's take a look here. There's Wortman down on the bottom side. He's got Barry Sanders Jr. in front of him. The 3 wide. Oh, this could only end poorly. Almost 4 wide. And yep, that start. Oh boy. Yeah, that started with Sanders. See, Matt Mackin is there as well. Come on. Why you gotta do that to me? Okay, so let's watch Sanders here. Takes it way to the bottom side.
He getting low.
Derek Jacobs there. Oh, Middle Miss just comes down and blasts him. Chris Davis nowhere to go.
Middle Miss got caught in the middle.
Nick King got caught up in that one as well. Jeepers, they almost look 5 wide there.
Hey. In the words of Cletus McFarland, let her rip tater chip. All those boys full send. No lift special. Then
The only good news is King didn't hit anything.
Right, he just went for a ride.
Tim Wortman Jr., not so lucky. There you see Wortman trying to follow Sanders through. The 27 of Derek Jacobs is the car to the outside. But keep your eye on the 16 of Middle Miss here. Gets it sideways and just comes down the track, and none of those guys anywhere to go. And, well, Wortman didn't really hit anything either. He just got turned.
Yeah, all that tire smoke sometimes at first makes it look worse than sometimes what it is. King in his box getting service on the floor. Another beautiful Harvick-esque type paint scheme, but Team Watson Racing. The HMFIC on that race car as always.
When did Busch come out with an orange flavor?
They did. It's not, in my opinion, I love some Bush Monkey. That was the thing when I was in the Marine Corps. I mean, we used to get it for free, but that flavor there, not that good.
Actually, it looks like a peach.
It is peach.
Oh, no thank you. I love peaches. I can't stand artificial peach flavoring.
It was more of like it's more of like a seltzer, to be quite frank with you.
Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah, it's not my cup of tea. Let's put it that way.
And Matt, I had this conversation with a younger friend of mine. I'm not gonna use the tags. I mean, yes, I call myself Gen X, but I'm kind of Gen Zennial, I guess is what they call us. It's the later end of Gen X.
Yeah, you're in the realm. You're in the area within
right.
5 years.
So, anyways, I got into the conversation with a younger person, and I'm talking under the age of 25. I said, look, my generation grew up on keg parties in the backwoods running from the cops. Your generation grew up drinking White Claws in your mom's basement. We are not the same.
Oh, throw Trulies into the mix as well.
I mean, the only thing we had, if you either drank beer or you got your ass kicked asking for a Zima.
The
kids today are going to look at you and go, what the hell is a Zima?
Zima wasn't that bad.
I mean, we also had wine coolers, which was the only time I ever saw my mom drink when, like she'd help me with the lawn, and I'd go inside, have a beer, and she'd have a wine cooler.
Here's a funny wine cooler story for you quickly. We used to go camping from time to time. My mom always said she never drank. Well, they used to put us in a separate tent, obviously. Every now and then, my mother would go in there and adventure into the wine cooler. That woman had 2 of them. She couldn't even stand up over the fire.
Exactly.
She dropped 4 of them in it. She dropped 4 of them in it within 5 minutes. I remember. I was laughing.
See, the thing is, and it's kind of dangerous because I've dated many different women over my life, and it's the girls that don't like drinking alcohol. Like, if somebody can't shoot straight whiskey, forget it. If she can shoot straight whiskey, wear a cup. Speaking of wearing a cup, these guys are beating and banging on each other here in the closing laps, 9 to go.
Carmichael took it from both ends there.
Yeah, he did.
Here we go, sending haymakers.
There it goes.
1 and caution. Oh! Someone just took out their front face. Absolutely just wiped it off the race car.
Yeah, that would be Darren Mills.
Mills just rolled down the wall, face first.
Watch this. Hold my beer.
Mills.
Okay, so that started with Justin Belmonte. Ouch.
I don't mean to laugh, but that had to be the most violent single car impact in turn 1. I mean, he took it face first.
Well, we're on board with him. Let's see how bad this does look.
I mean, that car did a keg stand on its own. Oh, Darren.
Banzai! All 4 wheels came off the ground. And there goes the engine. But it started back here, though, with the 6 of Belmonte. You see him on the outside lane there. He's going to get sent going into 1. Schmeets jumps up in front of him. Belmonte. Oh! Binder got into him. And the 45 nowhere to go, and then...
Yikes.
Goodness. Darren Mills just got run over from behind.
Yeah, hopefully Mills does not have a direct drive wheel. Oh, man.
Yeah, watch this. We're on board with Mills again. And I'm thinking Aaron might have given him a little help.
Watch the altitude the back of this race car gets.
Hey, look, the blimp.
Did you see the carnage? There's literally raining pieces of his car.
Oh, yeah.
Before,
The pieces hit the ground before the car did.
I shouldn't laugh about it's not funny. I can't believe what just happened to Mills. Oh my God.
There's David Balisari. Thing that looks like a pug-nosed dog.
We've seen that work.
No, he's in the top 10. It's hard to argue with results. Your biggest mover, though, is going to be that Cherry Sundrop 33 at John Bender, plus 16, currently sits in 9th.
You know, Cherry Sundrop actually sounds really good.
See, if I'm going to drink a cherry soda from south of the Mason-Dixon line, I'm drinking Cheerwine. I'm sorry.
Look, I got nothing against Cheerwine. In fact, I got a lot of love for Cheerwine. But something about Cherry Sundrop, that sounds, I mean, it's, for right now, like, you know, we're in the middle of this massive heat wave in central South Florida.
Here's the thing. If you go to, like, a Love's truck stop, they have, like, a fountain drink machine that you can get Mountain Dew, right, but you can put flavored syrup added to the beverage.
Yeah,
I've done that before with Mountain Dew, and it actually does taste pretty good.
Yeah, there's a Love's truck stop about 15 miles from me. When I do go through that area, I don't drink soda anymore, but when I do, that's exactly what I do. Mountain Dew is cherry sport.
Get your old Don Cherry Bubba keg out. Come on, you remember Don Cherry from when you were a kid, right?
I can't say that I do.
Hockey Night in Canada? Or did you guys not get CBC where you are?
We didn't get CBC. We didn't get Canadian Broadcasting.
Man. Yeah, they were a staple here, you know, when we first got cable. I used to love Saturday nights because I'd just sit there and watch hockey. My dad would go, "What are you doing?" I'm in their spare TV room, and I'm, you know, screaming at the TV like he does on a Sunday afternoon. "What are you watching?" "Hockey." And that's how I got my dad into hockey. And he and I just loved Don Cherry, Coach's Corner. You can find him on YouTube's. And if you ever get the chance, Matt, if you cannot call yourself a hockey fan until you have watched the movie The Wrath of Grapes.
The Wrath of Grapes.
Yep, it's a Don Cherry bioflick, and it stars Jared Kiso, who writes Letterkenny in Shoresy.
Oh, no.
He plays Don Cherry perfectly.
Shoresy. There's another one, Tony.
But he plays. I mean, Don Cherry even applauded this kid.
I could see Barry Sanders having a role in Shoresy.
Yeah, I could see that.
And I mean that with all due respect.
Hell, I mean, if I was still able to skate, I would have tried out for it because they were looking for hockey players.
Facts, they were.
Pace car is in. We are going to restart 5-lap dash for all the marbles. Davis gets going, and here comes the Holden Bikey Show for second again.
You ain't wrong on the Holden Bikey Show. Everyone that's been tuned into the SRM YouTube channel, we're going to do it again. JP Davis gets the lead. Holden and Bikey, they are back to it, slugging out. Bikey's going to pull the squeeze job on Holden. Bikey now has second.
Damn it.
And Wortman, well, he just warped the front of that race car as someone is smashed in behind him.
Yeah, that's going to be Matt Mackin. Mackin gets shuffled out. They're 3 wide. And something's going to happen with Middle Miss in front of these guys. Loses the back end. Oh, 2 separate incidences.
Yep.
And that's what happened with Wortman and Mackin. Let's go back and watch that one again from the iRacing blimp. You see the 48 has to jump on the binders, gets out of line. He's side by side with Wortman. They're 3 wide as Nick King down on the bottom side. Wortman comes up and car high, bud.
You ever notice how the sequences of wrecks happen in this league?
Yeah, everything happens in the last 15 laps.
No, the sequence. Usually, if you look at the big wreck boys, Carson, Mackin, King, it always usually starts with Carson. Then
King,
and then Mac.
Yeah.
I don't know why it happens like that to these guys. I know it's not scripted. They're not trying to do it. Oh. I mean, it's not like these guys can't drive. They absolutely can. We've seen how fast they were once again tonight.
They were the first 2 stages caution-free.
I know caution-free, but when it does go bad, I mean, you can... Darren Mills said, hey, thanks for the airtime, broadcast booth. We love you, Darren. He also helps me out spotting on Thursday nights as well. He's been a big help, so I want to shout him out for that.
And Andrew St. Coyer just hit the nail on the head. Rock'em sock'em.
Rock'em sock'em, that's perfect.
Took it from, he's laughing at your took it from both ends comment, too. I love it. Can do shots of whiskey, but... See, now, Cindy, you're my type of girl. Woman. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. But, yeah... Getting back to what we were talking about earlier about the whole drinking thing, if a woman can shoot straight whiskey or tequila, cool, she can hang. It's the women that don't like the taste of alcohol, and you've got to basically, they want to get drunk, but they don't want to taste the turpentine, and you know, they drink those drinks that really sneak up on you. You know, there's one out there. It's called a creamsicle, and it's I don't know all that's in it, but it's a blended drink, kind of like a margarita, but it's orange and cream flavored.
Yeah, my stepmother.
And those sneak up on you.
We used to go to Sunset Bay, USA. Tony, you know where I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
In the boat. And my stepmother, those creamsicles would... About 3 hours later, you'd be hearing her standing up there singing, Bon Jovi, It's My Life. I was like, hey, Mom, I thought you didn't do karaoke.
Well, the thing is, like, in my fraternity... We used to play cards every Friday night. Well, one of the alumni dropped off a case of Tequila Rose pint bottles.
Oh.
And we each took one. Thinking, it's only 25% alcohol. And we started playing cards. And I finished my bottle and went, I think I gotta go pee. I'll be right back. Stood up and fell through the card table. And looked up, go, who moved the bathroom? And everybody else's eyes got big because I normally could hold my alcohol, and that just snuck up on me. I didn't even know I was drunk till I stood up. And as we used to say, our drinking team had a rugby problem.
Yeah, you know, race cars aren't supposed to stand up. Just ask Darren Mills.
True story.
I still can't get over that impact. That was
Darren, crazy. We're not laughing because of what happened to you. We're laughing because of the iRacing physics.
Oh, he knows. He knows. He sent me a direct message that popped up there. He said, thanks for the extended airtime, LMAO.
Fair enough. So we're going into overtime.
The only way
Place your bets. Actually, no, I take that back. We're going natural green white checker.
Natural green white checker.
I just looked at the lap counter. Yeah, we're going natural green white checker here. Davis has to hold on for 5 miles.
Davis has to hold on for 5 miles, but no Mr. Excitement, Kenny Capola in the field. I got to go with Hulkamania here, Tony. He's been running up front. He's been the annoying chihuahua at the front of the field with all these new boys.
Has done everything except win already.
I think that changes here on this restart. Back to green flag action, but not like that. Look at the restart by Shane P. Davis. He's going to make Matt eat his words here. Is now Bikey side by side with Holden. 2 lines. Looks like they're going that Talladega into turn 3 and 4, but they're not. They're rifling down into 1. Shane P. Davis, clear advantage. Holden and Bikey still don't have it. The top line should want to move.
Davis just banged the wall.
Davis bangs it, and Bikey sends it by a coat of paint.
And Schmeets is 3 wide. What could go wrong here?
Oh, this... Get skinny, boys. They get through.
Yeah, the 93 almost did, and Ryan Huff bangs the wall coming off a 3. That's going to jam up John Binder. He's running in 9th right now. Meanwhile, coming out of turn number 3...
There they go.
Ah, we're going in overtime. Carmichael just got yeeted down pit road. So did Ed Boyles.
I seen cars scatter, and I couldn't tell who it was, but I've seen enough to know the caution was coming out. I think Chris Spears in there somewhere, too.
Now, let's take a look here. You're going to see, there's Carmichael getting into it with the 93. Still getting into each other. Binder pushes him around. The 7 gets sideways. Right
Barry
in front
Sanders.
of the HMFIC, Barry Sanders. Middle miss catches the race car to the face. Carmichael goes down pit road whether he wanted to or not.
He's not. All of this, a little Cougar bait action. There's Cougar bait on the primary sponsor on the 88. Cougar bait, 88. I see where you're going with this, Barry Sanders.
I think you're thinking about it too much.
How can I not?
You're happily married.
Well, that's what they say in the tabloids. Anyways, that's not where I was going with that. We're not going to get into my personal stuff here.
I was wondering how long it was going to take you to realize what I was doing. So Ryan Huff gets into Carmichael, takes the front end of his car off. Carmichael gets yeeted coming off the 3 and just smashes that safer barrier. Bluetooth left front suspension on the 3.
Well, you know what I always say, bad boys racing. That car's still on the racetrack, though, Tony.
I didn't knock the suspension off it, just wadded the front.
They built some tough next-gen cars over there at Bad Boy Racing.
Shorten that car up by about 1.5 feet.
You're right, that should have been Bluetooth all day.
Had he hit maybe 1 more degree either way of that front bumper, and yeah, he would have sheared a suspension arm off, especially hitting that wall at 175 miles an hour.
So no more natural.
I'll tell you right now, Shane Davis, if he can hang on,
right,
is going to become the king of fuel mileage.
Well, the king of fuel mileage and 2 tires, right?
2 tires and fuel mileage, pitted under green on lap 55. And the caution came out on lap 59.
Now, here's something we haven't mentioned yet, Tony. We have another broadcast, not today. Mr. Excitement, not here, but guess who races on his team? You guessed it, 79. He's a part of the show. So can Shane Davis, in the absence of Mr. Excitement...
Hey, Shane's your points leader for a reason.
Right, exactly. I still think that 1 is going to have enough time. I mean, he was eating all over the back of that Camaro when the caution flag came out. He was setting him up for a run into one.
Especially if Davis bangs the wall again like he did.
Yeah, the walls are not Davis's friends. Well, any driver on the racetrack for that matter right now.
You can see that,
But I'll tell you what,
that right rear quarter panel looks just a little kicked in. So that cannot be helping the downforce on that car.
no. That's not helping the downforce. And we know Hulkamania is not afraid to send it in on the top groove on 2. He is not. He will sail it through there by a coat of paint. He's done it masterfully a couple times now.
Ain't scared. How do you spell that?
Or
YAINTSKEERD. Ain't scared.
hashtag not wrong.
It's like I had to explain to one of the guys on the race team I was working at. The team owner had a really deep, heavy Southern accent. And he goes, "We like." What? We like. The kid goes, "I like pizza." I went, No.
No. No.
Dude, what do we lack? And the team owner looks at you. "Yeah, what do you lack?" "Pizza." Damn Yankees. Hey, I'll have you know I am a Yankees fan. Okay, so where do you want me to mail your last paycheck to? As soon as I said I'm a Yankees fan, the guy goes, "Where do you want me to mail your last paycheck to?" I'm like,
Promptly afterward.
I would rather not. Well, here we go. First attempt at the green-white checker. We have to make it 2.5 miles back around to take the white flag to race back to checkers. Otherwise, we're going to rack them, stack them, and try it again. Right. As Davis brings them into the Geico restart zone. Oh, Holden stutter-stepped it.
Holden held him down on the inside. There's Schmeets right there in the picture now, too. Shane P. Davis able to jump up in front of Bikey. Here we go. It's a full sender into one, Eaton on the bottom. Davis, Bikey, Holden. Holden getting a really low exit there. Can he make it work? Now he's got company on the top side of the racetrack. It's 2 by 2 behind him. That should allow the 79 of Davis and Bikey to prevail here going into the tunnel turn. The 42 of Warren Young trying to spring himself free on the top. Holden not letting him do it, but Warren Young has
3 wide.
Hold your breath. 3 wide going into 3. Are you kidding me?
Holden wisely backed out of it, a little sideways, tried to cross him over, gets the car completely sideways. And guess what? We are officially racing back to checkers. Davis and Bikey in the command of this one. Bikey going to have one final shot at it, a little over 2 miles to get it done.
Is it going to be checkers or wreckers? Everyone, you got to hold on to your seat. Make sure Grandma's got just enough kernel-free popcorn to get to the end. When's the pit viper going to pull the move? Here he goes. He's looking to pull the cork right now. Shoot the gap here, going into the tunnel turn here for the final time. We're racing back to the line side by side. Shane P. Davis, he ain't going to take that business. He's holding on. But Hulkamania clears. Brandon Bikey setting himself up for his first win here in the Moonshiners Racing Series. Almost door-to-door action behind him. There's the 14 Schmeets going after it with Aaron Matthews in the 5. But coming out of turn 3, it's deliverance time, baby, as Bikey bags one at Pocono.
Bikey, Davis, Young hangs on for 3rd. Schmeets coming home in 4th. Aaron Matthews 5th. And everybody eats hot garbage.
Oh, my goodness. Someone's going end over end.
That was Ryan. No, it wasn't Ryan Huff. Who the heck was that? Steve Gibertson?
I don't know if that was done deliberately, like as a grand finale, if you will, but there was cars literally cartwheeling.
Yeah, there were. Let's watch that again. And I think one of them may have been Wortman.
start doing the Indy Snake here. Wortman almost. Oh! Was there some payback there at the end? Oh, there. Oh, Jesus. They lofted him into outer space. There, you can hear them still wrecking behind him.
And why do
Multiple.
I don't even see the car that I think just flipped.
I don't either. Watch this one more time as Bikey has to come around this 2.5-mile oval facility to burn the house down.
No, it wasn't Whitley.
Wortman gets squirted out of the bun here. And then...
It very well could have been Bobby Justice.
I mean,
no, it wasn't him.
Someone turned awful hard. This could be their own fireworks here at the end. To signify the end of the race, who knows? Everything looks all fun and games on the radio side of things.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
I think I know who it was. Yep, it was. Kyle Holden just went for the ride of a century.
What happened to Kyle Holden at the end?
Watch this. There you see Holden. He's going to get turned coming up here.
He turns
himself.
Turns himself. It self-decimates. Oh, my goodness. Wortman catches him to the face. And the pile driver from the 7 of Spear. Okay, then.
Oh, ain't that about a bitch?
As Bikey's in reverse.
Why not?
Why not, Bikey?
And,
I told you.
And Matt, I believe you've got the driver of the Toyota Viper with you now.
Hulkamania, a.k.a. Brandon Bikey. Congratulations on making it to the bank here, getting win number 1 in the Moonshiners Racing Cup Series. As you're in reverse out there on the tricky triangle, man, how does it feel to punch that ticket and hit victory lane, bud?
Oh, it's great, man. We had a heck of a setup out here. Team Watson Racing setups. Kenny Coppola makes these setups. He couldn't make it. Unfortunately, his power was out, so it was one less person I had to contend with. But, man, it felt great all night.
I mean, you're not kidding. That car felt great all night. I mean, Tony and I watched you just slice your way through the field early, and it seemed like 3 weeks, 3 podiums, and now a dub. I mean, you came on the scene and you really made yourself known. And I said earlier in the week when Mr. Excitement wasn't here, Kenny Coppola, I said, this is your time to break through and get that win. And that's exactly what you did. How are you able to maintain the performance on that race car, even driving the tires off of it? That thing was still mad fast. How are you able to manage that car like that?
I mean, it's the setup, man. It's really the setup. There's not a lot I have to do. I just have to make sure I don't make mistakes, hit the wall. I mean, a lot of people are bouncing off walls and stuff like that. I don't think I maybe just brushed the wall one time. So it's about just minimizing mistakes and just going out there and letting the setup do what it does. So it was so much fun to drive.
Yeah, it looked like you were having the time of your life up here, man. And you're right, Kenny Coppola does so much for Team Watson Racing, puts countless hours in. But, you know, now you get to be the beneficiary out there on the racetrack. Congratulations. On a personal level, though, what does this one mean to you?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, winning's always fun. You know, I was working with my teammate there, Shane, at the end, Shane Davis, a lot. So we were going to be happy with either of us winning. We just wanted to make sure we finished up at the top there. So I love when me and my teammates can finish at the top of the leaderboard, regardless of the order. As long as we're there, that's what it means to me. And, it's super enjoyable and it's a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Well said. Last question. How close were you there on fuel?
Oh, I had plenty, I think. I mean, I'll check it right now. I'm still in here. I still have 14 and a half laps left.
All right. Tony and I were off the mark. We were thinking you guys were going to be really short on fuel, but like I said earlier in the broadcast, just Shane. I'm sorry, Shane, not you per se, the race car, but man, I'm ecstatic for you. I'm so happy with the way you hit the series and the performance that you've had with Team Watson Racing. Looks like you guys just gelled, are a perfect fit. Before we cut you loose, who helps you get it done? Who do you want to thank?
Well, again, I want to thank Team Watson Racing Setups, everybody over there that is a part of that group. It's the most fun group in iRacing, for my opinion. I love them. Kenny's great. Shane Davis, Schmeets, Paul Gallimore. I mean, all my teammates over here. It just makes it so much more fun to race this game when you have a lot of friends and fun people to hang out with. And then I want to thank I'm going to say hi to my dad. He watches most of these things, and thank him as well. My friend Bryce, my brother Austin, and my wife Lindsay. So that's the team that makes it happen, and we get out there and we try to get dubs. And tonight was a good result.
Yeah, he went out there and got a dub indeed. Brandon Bikey breaks through in the Moonshiners Racing Cup Series here at Pocono. Tony, back to you, bud.
Well, joining me now is the new king of fuel mileage, Shane Davis, your points leader. Going to leave here tonight solidly in command of the points lead. But Shane, it's got to be just a little bit heartbreaking, even though it was your rookie teammate that edged you out there for the victory.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a heartbreak, but I was just happy to be in the position. Two late race cautions or two late race calls for pit strategy has got me top three the last 2 weeks, so I'm pretty happy with that. I can't really be down about it.
Well, Shane, we were wondering, you pitted last on lap 55. How much fuel did you have left in the tank when the checkers flew?
I was about 3 or 4 laps to the good. My plan there is that I was going to go in and take 2 tires since I had 40 seconds of damage. So I wanted to get that fixed. And so I went into that last stage and got it fixed, try to help me out a little bit. I was running tight. And I wanted to short pit everybody and do 2 tires and try to make up a little ground. And if caution happened to throw my way, then I'd be able to stay out and pray for the best. And that's what happened.
You had to have been sweating bullets when this race went into overtime, though.
Yeah, I really think if it went green there, I think I had a good shot at holding on to it. I got the car loosened up pretty good, and it felt good. I only had a lap and a half more on my tires than these guys. I just, I was getting so tight on turn 1 without having any heat in my tires, and I could really feel it there at the green-white checkers.
Shane Davis, 3 straight podium finishes showing why you are the points leader here in the regular season. Who helps you get it done on the 79? Who do you have to thank?
I got to thank Team Watson Racing Setups, my teammates Chris, Kenny, Wayne, Brandon, Paul, Jacob, or Jordan. Brandon really helped me out a lot today. I told him, I said, if you get the run, take it. I knew he was a lot faster than I was tonight. Just really appreciative of them. Iron Horse Liveries, you guys for a great broadcast.
And Shane, one final question. Where is West Plains?
West Plains is in southern Missouri.
All right, sir. Bringing another podium home to southern Missouri. We'll see you next week.
Thank you. Have a good.
And Matt, I believe for the first time this season, you have the driver of the 42 with you.
He puts the bad boy in bad boy racing. Warren Young, Tony and Matt, you got us, bud.
Yes, sir. What's going on, fellas?
Hey, finally get an opportunity to talk to you up here in the booth. What's going on? You're going on, man. But that race wasn't easy for you, Warren. You had to get up there on the wheel and fight. Seemed like you were always in the hornet's nest throughout the course of this race. Walk me through what it was like being in all those battles tonight over the course of the run.
Man, it was definitely intense the whole race. There wasn't. I don't think the only easy laps were the caution laps. I mean, it was door to door, bumper to bumper. Every lap we were under green, and it just it was a tough race. That's for sure.
Yeah, it certainly was, but you found a way to prevail and get that 42 in the right place at the right time. Get yourself that podium. What does that do for you now as we get deeper into the season?
Definitely gives me momentum. I really like a lot of the upcoming tracks here. Um, I've had a really bad stretch here since I won the Bristol Dirt Race right before you guys came on, and this is definitely what I need to get momentum back on my side, get the confidence back up that I actually can run up front with these guys because I know I can. It just my luck has been absolutely horrible for most of this season. So
No, you're right. Lady Luck has not been on your side. And oftentimes, you know, you not having anything really involved in it, you're just at the wrong place at the right time as a driver. That can wear you down mentally. And, you start second guessing yourselves at times. But you're right. No better medicine than that, going out there and getting a podium. Great job out there on the racetrack. Hard fought battle. Way to prevail out there and bring that number 42 home in third. Before we cut you loose, bud, who do you want to thank who helps to get it done on the 42?
oh man, well, first of all, I want to thank my family, my wife, and my kids that they let me do this, practicing day in and day out, racing, every week. My mom is watching; she watches faithfully every week. My team, Bad Boy Racing, Barry, Aaron, Hunter, Garrett, who wasn't here tonight, Daryl and Darren, um, uh, SLI Designs. He done the paint scheme on this car for me a couple days ago. Barry usually does them. I've been kind of letting him work on practicing instead of painting, so it's definitely showing off for him. But also Apex Sim Racing, RS Button Boxes, Hickory Harbor Designs, um, and you guys, man, you guys y'all kill it week in and week out. It's you guys are a blessing to have as our broadcast team. That's for sure.
It's our pleasure.
Believe me, Warren, Tony and I certainly appreciate that. And, we just do what we love, and all that comes out watching what you guys do out there on the racetrack. That's what sets myself and Tony off. And, Warren Young, able to get it done here, circles the wagons here at Pocono, comes home third. And I promise you, you definitely did. Captain Cougar Bait proud here tonight. Barry Sanders Jr., the team owner. Ladies and gentlemen, third place, coming home in the 42, first time up in the SRM broadcast booth tonight. The driver of the 42, that is Warren Young. Tony Trapasso, back to you.
Warren, do you have anything else?
Nope, I was just going to tell you guys thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
All right, sir. Our pleasure. You guys keep giving us racing action like that, and we are going to keep giving you guys the same great broadcast we've been giving you. But
That sounds great.
That is going to put another one in the books for us. Round 20 at Pocono. Brandon Bikey coming home with a win. Shane Davis coming home with another podium. Warren Young rounding out the podium. As you heard him say, second time this season on the podium. Hasn't really had much luck since the Bristol Dirt Race, which happened just before we took over the broadcast duties for the Moonshiners Cup League. Jordan Schmeets and Aaron Matthews rounding out your top five. Kyle Holden got yeeted on after the checkered flag flew. John Bender coming home 7th place after starting almost dead spanking last. Your biggest mover at plus 18. Ryan Huff, Paul Gallimore, and Bobby Justice rounding out your top 10. Nick King, Chris Davis, Steve Gibson, Barry Sanders, and Tim Wortman rounding out the top half of the field.
Bring you guys the rest of the way home here tonight in 14th, Barry Sanders Jr. 15th belongs to Tim Wortman Jr. Residing 16th, Paul Whitley, David Bellisari, Matt Mackin, Hunter Carmichael, and Jamison Middlemiss round out your top 20. 21st, Ed Royals Jr. 22nd, Derek Jacobs. 23rd, Justin Belmonte. 24th, going for the ride of the century at Pocono, Darren Mills in the deuce. 25th, 20, and coming home in 25th, Darren Mullins, 26th, Jeff Carson, 27th, Randy Mullins, 28th, Daryl Klotz, 29th, Nicholas Atwood, rounding out your final starters here tonight from Long Pond, Pennsylvania, home of the Tricky Triangle. They call it Pocono. Tony Trapasso.
No, we call it Pocono for a reason. Some of these guys found out why I call it Pocono. Or Poca-ono, if you will. But that is going to do it for us tonight. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on bell notifications, so you don't miss a single moment of action here on Sim Racing Media, as we have racing every night of the week. And if you're looking for work, we are looking to bring on some new commentators, some new producers here on Sim Racing Media. Just hit us up on our Facebook page. Throw a shout out to our Twitter handle if you want to reach us. Don't forget to like, favorite, subscribe, share, turn on bell notifications. And he's Matt Metler. I'm Tony Trapasso, reminding you, ladies and gentlemen, until we get a chance to meet again, and as you walk down the road of life this week, do me a huge favor. Don't play in traffic. Good night, everybody.